What up, what up, what up? It's your boy King Moses live from the porch, man. I know it's been a minute, man. Things been going on. Life is lifing. I'm trying to stay away from the gypsies and all the gypsification out here in these streets and in the world. But want to say happy holidays to everybody. You know what I mean? I was meaning to do a few videos, and I got a lot of catching up to do, whatever, because been a lot of stuff going on as usual. You know what I mean? It be happening back to back to back. So I wish I could catch it as fast as I could or whatever. But I'm going to get into it, man. But I just seen something come across my radar, man. It was something I was planning on talking about anyway, man, because, you know, me from DC, man, and, fan of the hometown Wizards, man. I remember back in the days or whatever about all the stuff that was going on with the Wizards back in the day when they were just the Bullets, and just being of age to be out and about in the streets or whatever, and bumping into a lot of them dudes or whatever, and just kind of just seeing how the landscape is been and what it is now as far as like the DC athletes, man. I could get into the Redskins and Commander, whoever they call now, whatever, but I remember going back, back out in the love days or whatever when I used to bump into all of them. I used to see a rack of them. You feel what I'm saying? Like, what I mean? San Antonio, what's it? Santana Moss, Clinton Portis. You see him out all the time. You know what I mean? A few of them dudes, whatever, man. Mainly, you would see the Wizards dudes or whatever. Like, I'm talking about, heavy, heavy back in love days and Ibiza, K Street Lounge. Like you'll see, this was like round time when Gilbert Arenas was playing, cause he was the one. But Gilbert Arenas, Karan Butler, Andre Blatch, Deshaun Stevenson, what's the boy name? The goofy dude, um, the big tall boy, the one be on Shaq and the Fool. You know what I'm talking about. JaVale McGee. Yeah, JaVale McGee. I would see all of them, whatever, when they was young. Nick Young, too, whatever. Like, what I mean? They was wild back then, whatever, right? But, it was what it was. This town ain't really into the whole, we ain't no championship uh, town team or whatever when it comes to, first of all, anything or whatever. But especially no basketball. You feel what I'm saying? They ain't the only one. One was like in the 70s with Wes Unso. But you know what I mean? It just be like, man, it's our team. You put out a good product or whatever, do what you do, whatever. They gonna support regardless of whatever, right? Even though they've been slumming for a minute, right? But just going back and thinking about how the atmosphere was just out in the streets or whatever, and even after Gilbert Arenas left or whatever, and then you had the John Wall days. So he was out there too, obviously, clearly. You know what I mean? Wall was out there heavy. You feel what I'm saying? Antoine Jameson and all them. But yeah, it was like, man, you would see these dudes out or whatever, out and about, and it was a different era where, yeah, people, the chicks and the gypsies was out. They was on their groupie shit or whatever, and all that or whatever. But now it's totally different with social media because I guess you have so much more exposure to these people where you see them on a regular basis. You could talk to them or whatever the case may be. And then everybody trying to keep up with the Joneses that's on the social media. So they are quote unquote celebrities in themselves. I don't know, man. Like I said, you can be a celebrity and be an IG model and just showing ass and twerking or whatever. I don't know. You feel what I'm saying? But it's a little bit different now. And the accessibility to pay is at an all-time high where it wasn't like that before. Yes, these dudes were tricks before whatever, but it was different where it was like, all right, well, you still had to do certain things to show that you was a celebrity because other people weren't really doing it like that, or they weren't visually seen by other people to even be considered a famous person or a celebrity or with some money, whatever. You feel what I'm saying? You had to really be out and about or whatever. Now you can just put up an appearance on IG or Twitter or TikTok and be whoever you want to be. So it was different. Now you can be anything you want and really not be that way. But as long as you got the money to overshadow that, then that's all that matters. Cause nowadays these chicks out here is paying to play. So what I'm saying is Gilbert Arenas, John Wall, Chris Webber, all them dudes they used to get buck wild back when it was Chocolate City, because it's no longer Chocolate City anymore. Let's just be real. You feel what I'm saying? This joint is gentrified and it is whitewashed. Okay, and that's another part into it, which I'll get into. But the superstars like that, they had to show and prove on the court, and they still would get the attention of the girls because of what they were doing on the court, and then whatever they wanted to spend on them, that was on them. Now you got to do like Jordan Poole, who is already a champion, unlike the other dudes. He got nothing to prove. He not playing for no contract. You feel what I'm saying? Like the other dudes. So he is just here, whatever, and people automatically are taking the old days and trying to apply them to the new days and thought that it was going to be something that it really wasn't. So I'm going to go into a couple videos to explain why Jordan Poole is not going to work in DC, because he is a 100% top tier grade A trick baby. It's a lot of these dudes out here, whatever, you know, the Zion Williamsons. I'll get into him in another video, whatever, and I talked about that or whatever, and pause in advance. I already talked about him a while back ago, whatever. He gonna be on his way out or whatever. But we've already talked about these new age era trick babies are just on a whole different level because they don't need to prove anything to anybody. Yeah, so you know what I mean. They don't have anything to prove, because you could be anybody. You could be a dude that's on the bench or whatever, averaging 1.2 whatever, and still get all of the chicks you want or whatever. They not checking for you, but as long as you put it up on social media and make it up to be something that what it ain't or whatever, and you got the money or appear to act like you have the money, or tricking off or doing all these sugar daddy activities, then you can get any joint that you want. This is the way of the world now. So I'm gonna show a clip. I'm gonna do a reaction to a clip that came across whatever from Mason Cam's sports show. It is what it is, and shout out to them because that joint is hilarious and it's fire. They got fire content. But I mean, it was a two-part thing. Whatever. One, us people from DC, we don't like New York people to be talking bad about us or taking credit. That's a whole nother story, whatever, a whole nother history lesson that, you know what I mean, you could do your research on. I might do a video on that later on or whatever. But, you know what I mean, it wasn't like no super hate or whatever, but like you have to be mindful that these are rappers that were from the 90s or whatever. So they got that same mentality of DC from a New Yorker that's coming down here and visiting or whatever from back in the 90s, 2000s, and late 2000s, early 2010s. So their mindset is different because the way that it was before Chocolate City, it's no longer the way that it is now. It hasn't been that way for a while. So let's get into their reaction, whatever. And also, too, just to be mindful, we know Cam got shot in DC, whatever, after the Paid in Full movie that was based off of Alpo. And we already know the story about Alpo snitching on people in DC. That's one of the reasons why he got shot, and that was facts. And I mean, he's good now because Alpo's dead or whatever. But like DC niggas was not letting that go, or whatever. It was too close to comfort. All right, let's go ahead and play this clip here, or whatever, and get into this reaction. What they talking about?
And he's on DC, so the girls are a little bit more ratchet. It's not as laid back as Golden State. So he's under warfare right now.
Are you calling DC ratchet? Yeah. Is that what you're doing? Yeah. Are you calling the girls in DC ratchet? That's wild disrespectful.
Chocolate man. City. I would know.
You've been old Mason know better than the new Mason.
Yeah, DC is too tough for a light-skinned nigga. I'm just keeping it real. Because all of the chocolate girls are looking for the light-skinned dude. He the only light-skinned guy there.
Cool, my light-skinned, but go ahead.
But he's taken.
That's true.
So he's getting all of the focus.
I don't know who's on Washington Wizards besides them two players. They won't get my time till further notice.
Shout out DC, because what?
That's another thing. DC, I have nothing to do.
Shout out DC.
I have nothing to do
we
with that
love
shit.
DC.
Well, first
My name is Mason. I stand by this message.
I have no problem with that. Listen, first of all, I have to I'm not DC, we cool. First of all, you know niggas clap me in DC, they still think I'm Rico.
Oh yeah, so let me take that back.
Niggas
We
shot me.
apologize,
They shot me in my Lamborghini talking about, yeah, Rico. Like, DC, we good. I ain't got no problems with nobody in DC.
I apologize.
Nah, yeah, it's all
I
good.
want to go to a game.
You gotta stand on
Jordan.
business. You said it, so you said it. Okay.
All right, so let's just react to that right there. First of all, there's not really any expectations as far as like championship or anything like that. People just expected him to do what he was doing in Golden State. As far as on the scoring tip or whatever, like honestly, people was thinking that he was going to lead the league in scoring because it was a bad team. He had the green light. He showed that he could score. You feel what I'm saying? And he don't have to worry about like living in anybody's shadow. You feel what I'm saying? But nobody was really going to be expecting because like if you think about it for real, nobody really been on his case like that. It's out of towners really that's on his case about why he not showing up because he showed glimpses of what he could be, and we thought that was going to increase if he was going to be in DC where it's him and Kyle Kuzma. You feel what I'm saying? So he should be averaging at least high 20s, or, the low 30s, because there's already going to be a bad team or whatever. So that's all. The expectations were pretty much minimal. It was just minimal. But I'm going to go into the reason why he's not meeting his expectations, because he's just a trick baby. He's content. And there's not really any accountability for these trick baby athletes to produce on the court because they got money and they got attention, or they can show off or, play it off to gypsies to pay them attention. And that's all that matters. They ain't got no game or whatever, and they're not even in a situation where they have to do anything to impress them on the court to get attention from them now. You know what I mean? These NBA and these athletes, these NFL, they are the new trick babies, and they are hypnotized via social media, not by trying to get attention by their accomplishments on the court or on the field. But you see the caption on there, whatever. I mean, this is somebody from DC, whatever. So the people get offended again once they start saying, when they start talking about DC and it's somebody from out of town, especially from New York. So let me just say this. First of all, New York has no type of say so as far as like what is ratchet, because New York are far and few between the worst women I've ever experienced in my life. New York, New Jersey, them up north broads or whatever is it's just crazy. You know what I mean? Like they act like dudes, very masculine or whatever, and that's why a lot of New York dudes leave out of town to go places, go elsewhere, whatever, because them broads just be hard to deal with or whatever. That's just my take on it, whatever. And then them chicks that leave New York or whatever and up north, whatever, they come down here, whatever, so they have to adjust to a certain extent, whatever, because they can't get away with that nonsense and they got too much competition. So that's off the rip. Second of all, Mace is right. DC women are definitely ratchet. I'm not gonna say all of them, but the majority. I'm talking about the ones from. Let's be real. The ones specifically from Southeast, Uptown. We were talking about four places: Uptown, Southeast, Southwest, and Northeast. Right. So you can cut it up however you want. Right. And again, we're in a situation now in the era, because we're talking about currently from 2020. I don't know how you want to 2023 going to 2024. You can cut it off in the last 5 to 6 years when this gentrification thing is really kicked off. There's not a lot of homegrown DC women that are here anymore. And I'm talking about in the District of Columbia. Okay? Second of all, when dudes talk about, because I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some bad joints, and I'm not saying all the joints from DC are ratchet, but when they talk about the DC women, They are referring to the Maryland and Virginia girls. Those are the ones that are like the majority of them are bad and they not like ratchet, quote unquote. The Pretty Girl County, the Montgomery County, all that shit or whatever, Northern Virginia, that's where you gonna see the baddies at or whatever. So when people think of DC women, they don't actually think of somebody from Anacostia or goddamn Paradise or Uptown or whatever on 14th. They talking about the joints from Bowie, the joints from Rockville, Germantown, the joints from Arlington, Alexandria, Falls Church. They talking about them. Let's just be real. You know I'm not making this up. So again, not saying it ain't no bad joints or whatever. That's from DC. But I'm talking about the ones that are the bad ones, the vicious ones, are from Maryland and Virginia. Let's just keep it real. Okay? So he didn't say nothing wrong there. Now, here's where it gets down to the nitty gritty titty committee. Back in the days when John Wall, Gilbert Arenas, Chris Webber, all of them was here, whatever. Like, them joints that, cause this is a black fan base. Majority black fan base. A lot of them joints that was on them trying to find a basketball player type of nigga, whatever, and all that shit. They was coming to the arena, and they was the ones that was on the hunt. You would see them out on the front court. Jordan Poole isn't into them type of chicks. He's not. I don't know why. I frankly do not care, but it's clear that it's not, because if that were the case, he's had more than enough opportunity to, it ain't like they not here. He would be on his James Harden shit right now. Now I know, nah, and even still with like the decline in like the strip clubs, stadium ain't here no more. The Maryland joints or whatever, I haven't been to it since like COVID hit or whatever. But even before, they was trying to slum that joint down or whatever, where like they was on like Fuegos wasn't hitting like it was before or whatever. But we not gonna act like, bro, there's too many women in this metropolitan area for it not to be. Where it's like, oh whoa, ain't no joints here for them to show out for. That's false. 110% all the way. They still be out, and they're still around. He's just not into them joints. I'm gonna tell you, he is Snow Bunny Chaser, and he like them not even light skin joints, but you can tell this area, for the type of joints that he's looking for, he want them College Park type joints. He want them Bethesda, Titleytown, Georgetown, Foggy Bottom, Adams Morgan chicks. He want them joints that be up in Friendship Heights. Them high acidity white people, you know what I mean? Because one thing about them NBA players and them athletes, they will put them white girls on a high scale over any other type of broads. Even the Latino, like, first of all, the black ones are always going to be down even to them or whatever, like, or not even, because they feel that they still have to pay, so it's not like they feel they're beneath them. But they're like one step above them. Black girls are one step above. Then you got the Latino ones, because that's not something that they're used to seeing or whatever. So it's like exotic to them or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? The Asian ones, yeah, but they not out there like that or whatever. Like, but it's more Latinos. They the next step above. And then at the hierarchy of it is the white girls. So no, Jordan Poole is not about to be sliding in no DMs trying to get OnlyFans for some white joints or whatever. He might be, but he is looking for Becky from Reston, Virginia, or Becky from Damascus, that's coming in town or whatever. Just, her father got season tickets. He want them. Now, don't get me wrong, they are there. I don't be seeing them. I don't, whatever. But That's what he's looking for. That's who he wants to show out for. And they just not there casually, whatever, for him because they just not really doing good now. They will not them chicks will go because for the game. Or they'll go to the hockey game, try to, whatever the case may be, but they're not going to look for a athlete. They will go just like, oh, let's just have a good time, and then they just let stuff happen. That's just what it is. Now, some of them are on the hunt, but it's not enough for him to be like showing out, whatever, doing all this. So this city is not gentrified enough for him to be showing out or whatever. He could do that in San Francisco, because it's definitely like that. Not here, not yet. And that's why also too the owner is talking about moving to Virginia, because they want to appease to the white fan base. But I'm gonna give you some examples of why, like I said, that boy he just this was the meme that used to or the video that used to float around or whatever, and this is what people were expecting of him when he got here. Oh, he sees some baddies, well, that was the theory, whatever. This is the ones he likes. You'll find joints like that in College Park, Fairfax, Tyson's Corner, you know what I mean? And and again, he has nothing to prove. He's not trying to put on a show for anybody, because it's like he already got his money. He's not like, bro, it's like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's clear as day, but people just don't want to admit. I mean, if you sit back and think about it and look at it, that's the reason why it's the way it is, because you really have to know the area to know what's up. You feel what I'm saying? And the one time that he tried to step out and mess with some black chick or whatever, he got played. And this was covered on It Is What It Is with Cam or whatever, when the girl Ice Spice charged him $500,000 for a date, or he voluntarily paid $500,000 to go on a date with Ice Spice. Look at this.
Jordan Poole, you spent $500,000 on a Ice Spice date.
He's a munch.
You're a munch, and you're playing like a fucking munch. This is not you from last year, bro. Go back to Milwaukee and figure it the fuck out and get back in the playoffs, because you look crazy. It's because I had your back last year. You got
and this is when he was in his last year with Golden State after he got punched by Draymond.
niggas out here talking about, yeah, what was all that Jordan Poole shit you was popping? You fucking
chill.
Nah, you're much, because I got his back.
Order
See,
in
a
the
lot of
court.
niggas don't know Jordan Poole was a...
Now, I ain't even gonna go into the whole thing, but you get the gist. And then the last evidence right here is when old girl, I don't know who she is or whatever. I just know she a gypsy Jezebel bedwench, that she be on IG, whatever. The Ruby Rose chick, she tweets that she's coming to DC, whatever, and she put money on him or whatever, because she looking like, yeah, all right, I could get him, whatever. He show out, I can get some clout off of him, get some money out of him. Big tricking. You feel what I'm saying? And the narrative was, oh, if somebody like her was up at the front court, because I mean, bro, again, like I said, you have to be here, whatever, to know what's up with her. People that live here or been, them type of bras is around all the time or whatever. So, listen, man. The narrative was that, oh, if a girl like Ruby Rose was at the front and he's going to drop 50, right? And look at Kevin Garnett, and these are basketball players as well too, criticizing this nigga. Listen what they was saying when she showed up and he absolutely put up a dud and froze up in front of the broad or whatever, and allegedly made her lose money over him or whatever when she put a bet on him for the FanDuel or whatever the hell they be playing or whatever, you know what I mean? But check out what they got to say, man.
The position of being a leader.
So, they ain't got no, what bets they got over there?
Bro,
They
you
no
got,
bets?
bro, you just said you the champion. You the fan. You came in here with championship energy. He had your girl too, bro. He had your girl in the joint there. He had your girl in the building.
He supposed to go for 50.
Man, he's supposed, man, I see why. I see why. You had Shorty, and then Shorty bet on his ass. Shorty had him in the parlay, Lord. Yeah, I'm disappointed in Jordan Poole, man. I thought I was going to get to see the Poole show. I know the coach saying something. I know development. They're just not letting dude do that. He don't respect nothing.
I don't think he respects his teammates. and I'm not sure he respect the coach.
Yeah, he a spoiled trick baby, man. He already got his money. He gonna trick off whatever. He's entitled, whatever, and ain't nobody gonna hold him accountable, whatever. Because at the end of the day, this town ain't gonna hold him accountable because we not expecting no championships and nothing like that. We would just be fine just to see a show. And honestly, like I said, we don't even care if we ain't seeing no show from him because we just gonna go on with our shit. Is too much shit going on or whatever, and we just like numb to the fact of not winning and not, you know what I mean, whatever. Like we was expecting the show, man. This boy dropped 8 points when that girl was there, man. You know what I mean? And Paul Pierce, no, he was another trick baby. He was here. He knew what was up. He knew. He was around there with John Wallen and whatever, Eric, going to Rose Bar and all that stuff. Them days is long gone, man. Like I said, now you could just trick off, pay for them, have the little private hotel party or house party, whatever. We wouldn't even know about it. They do it on IG. They got escorts or whatever, stuff like that. It's nasty work, man. But yeah, Jordan Poole, you're not going to survive here, man. This town ain't for you, man. So let me know what you think, man. Like, comment, subscribe, and share and all that other stuff. It's your boy King Moses, live from the porch, man. I'm out.